All right. All right, just give me 1 or 2 minutes. I'm going to make sure that everything is good here, and then we'll get into some charts and all that good stuff. So there's going to be a whole bunch of people joining us. There's going to be people joining from the Elevate Trading Group, my Telegram, this Discord, and Twitter and wherever else. Should be a fun group. So if you guys want to interact with everybody, it's probably easier to just use the YouTube chat, because I'm not going to be able to monitor like 8 different chats while. Yeah, I am. The link is posted in the live streams channel, the social media, under the category social media. Yeah, I didn't have power for half the day today and all of last night, so I haven't been trading. I'm probably just calling it a day today. It's Friday anyway, so I'm probably just going to sit out for the weekends. But I want to take a look at everything for you guys. It looks like Bitcoin is going down right now, but we'll get to that in just a second. Yeah. I ended up getting out in that really choppy fucked up price action yesterday. I got really chopped up in that. I tried to long it. Long was underwater. By the time I flipped short, it started coming back up, and then it went down again, overnight. Then my power went out and the position got liquidated. So I mean, it happens. That's life, right? So let's take a look at Bitcoin first. Let's delete some of this stuff I got going on here. And if there's any issues or whatever with the live stream or with the camera audio or whatever, let me know so I can fix it. Right. So let's start with a naked chart on the weekly. Oh my God, it just looks so extended to me. That's so nuts. That really reminds me of like 2017, like how this chart looks. It's just like it's either about to explode or it's going to reverse. But I honestly, I think that we're probably going to keep moving up from here. It looks like we were really close to touching 50K. This weekly chart looks really good, but this MACD down here is just concerning, that the price is still going up so high, but the MACD is technically had a bearish cross like 2 weeks ago. So that's just really weird. I wonder if we compare that to not Forex. I wonder if we can compare that to the 2017 price action and see way back here if it was similar. No, it's looking like in 2017 when the MACD crossed, it already started reversing. But so this time is different. It's like been crossed bearish for like 2 weeks. This is something that I've been keeping my eye on very closely. Normally, this isn't something that happens very often with the MACD indicator, so it's definitely something to watch. Maybe slight divergence here on the RSI as well. Higher high, lower high on the RSI for now. But I was actually going to do a video on this yesterday, but my power went out. So I wasn't able to do it, but I want to make a video on the RSI. And the only reason why I have the RSI on this chart is because this is the chart that I mainly do my high time frame analysis on. And I don't use the RSI in any other place. And the reason why is because most people like to sell when it's, in overbought territory, and then buy when it's in oversold territory. That's what like 90% of people are going to tell you to do. And that's just not a good thing to be doing on the lower timeframes with the RSI. I find that it's best used on higher timeframes, 4 hour and above. So like this, when we crossed into overbought territory, it's been staying there. That doesn't obviously, if you were trying to sell this entire thing, you wouldn't have an account at all, right? So that's the reason why I like using it on the higher timeframes, is because once it does break above either this upper or lower limit, normally what that means is that the trend is really strong. That's really all that it means. So that's the reason why I use it. Now, it is good for finding divergences on these higher timeframes. I think if we look back here, we actually had one. Where was this? Back in 2019. We had a very slightly lower high here. And then it did like this fake out and then it plummeted. But in general, I basically just use the RSI on higher timeframes just to see the general trend. So like this, obviously the trend was up and this was really choppy back here. You know, this whole time it popped up, we popped down. But this 56 level, this line that I have here on my RSI chart, I leave this at 56. And the reason why is because, as you can see from this chart, it acts as a level of support and resistance for the RSI on these daily and weekly timeframes. So normally, if you're extended like this in price action for a very long time, if you break down back below that 56 level, normally that's confirmation of like a long-term trend reversal if that happens. Or you get some bullshit like this, you know, the Great Wick of China, I believe this was called. That's what we were calling this on Twitter or whatever, the Great Wick of China. This is a black swan event. Normally something like this doesn't happen. This was a black swan event as well. Everybody that's been in crypto for a while remembers November 13th or 14th or whatever. This was just ridiculous. This killed everybody. Even very experienced traders. I mean, this price action went sideways for literally 4 months, and then it just tanked and chopped the price in half again. So the black swans like this, with the amount of liquidity and stuff that's in Bitcoin now, and digital assets in general, with it getting more attention from institutional investors and you know, big names, you know, Elon Musk and what's the guy from MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor, you know, people like that. I think Apple Pay, didn't Apple Pay release their news today that they're going to implement digital assets? I'm pretty sure that was a thing. That news came out. I think I saw that on Twitter or something. So, you know, when you constantly have major news events like this and you have really big institutions, really big, large company owners and stuff investing millions and or billions into Bitcoin, not only does that decrease the supply of Bitcoin, there's less of it, that makes the price go up. But in addition to that, it also kind of makes the price level off a little bit. And in general, there's not going to be nearly as much manipulation and stuff in the markets now as there used to be, like way back here 4 or 5 years ago, whatever, because the market cap is way higher. When the market cap grows, I think we're at like 850 billion. I actually have to see. I'm not actually sure what the market cap is here. What the hell is this? Let's go to coinmarketcap.com. They listed Tesla on coinmarketcap.com. That's funny. So 886 billion. So, you know, 4 years ago, that was not, that was definitely not a thing 4 years ago. So, wow. Anyway, I was getting questions, about, hold on, let me bring up the YouTube chat here real quick. Sorry for the trouble with your sister-in-law. Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, I was going to do a video on this tomorrow, but it's not really worth doing a video on. That's not really what my channel is about. I'm not really a vlogger. My sister-in-law actually, she called the police on my wife and I on the weekend. And for no reason at all, I had a fire going outside and I was moving a log. I burnt the shit out of my hand. So I like cried out and started cursing because I burnt the shit out of myself. And she didn't bother to text us, didn't bother to come downstairs, ask us if everything was all right or what was going on. She just decided to call the police. Well, me and my wife, we were having some cocktails and stuff. So there was like a bottle of liquor out on the table. All of a sudden the police bust in. Well, my daughter obviously is here. And it could have been like a very, very bad situation. I mean, like, who the fuck calls the cops on their own family? Like that's really weird. So needless to say, we're in the process of moving. We're probably going to be moving out of here within the next probably 2-3 weeks, within a month for sure. Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. Like calling the police on your family. Like what the fuck? Like, what are you, nuts? Dude, and what's crazy is that like she called for a domestic dispute. Please tell me why the next thing I knew, there was like 6 cops in my house, like literally 6. Like, what the hell? Anyway, so let's see. Somebody wants me to chart CRV. I'll get to that in just a minute after I go over some of the lower time frames here on Bitcoin. Jesus, you sexy as fuck. Well, thank you for that. Have you had a look at the pi indicator provider? Elias, whoever messaged me about the pi indicator, send me, see if you can text me like a link to it on TradingView. I'll go ahead and I'll take a look at that off stream later on. Godspeed Spartan. Why do you have to move on? I answered that. She got to go. Well, we're living in her house. So there's the upstairs of the house that's 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and then the basement of the house, which is another 3-bedroom, 1-bath. So we live and are in the bottom part of it, and we're leaving. It's her house, so we're gonna leave. AUC, she doesn't. Sam Hush. Yeah, no, we're not gonna live with that lady at all. What MACD do I use? So this is my own. That's actually a good question. I know that you guys see this a lot. I use this in my analysis all the time. This is my own MACD indicator. This is free and public on TradingView. If you go to indicators here and you search, I think I just called it KMAC. Yeah, so it'll come up here if you just search KMAC on TradingView, and obviously my name is here. So I wonder if I can. Let me see if I can post the link. I'll try and post the link for you guys if I can. I don't know how to get a link for this. Yeah, I have all the settings here, public and everything. It's modified. The settings are different, but this is the MACD that I've always used. So yeah, you can find that on TradingView for free. I don't charge for any of my stuff. Is she mental? Yes, she is super bipolar. You know what? Let's keep it in crypto. Okay, cool. So let's take a look at some lower time frames here, right? Just kind of see where we're at here. Major, again, daily time frame, major divergence here on our RSI on the daily chart. Lower highs, higher high in price. This is the reason why I actually took half of the Bitcoin that I have that I trade with on the exchange yesterday, actually, and I went into cash with it. That's a huge red flag. Seeing such massive, drastic divergence like this is kind of a red flag to me. Now, I'm not bearish right now by any means. I'm not saying that the market's going to tank. I'm not saying that the bull runs over. I'm not calling a top or anything like that. I'm being cautious. No one ever lost money by paying themselves, right? So took out half my Bitcoin, put into cash just to be a little safe. And I got burned on that today. Like the price went up another 2%. I got a little burned on that, but if for some reason the market does turn around here and this is the top or of the market or whatever, I exited for all intensive purposes. That would be a pretty swell exit. Why the hell did I say swell? What is this, like 1950? Good Lord. Golly gee willikers. All right. So on this daily time frame, let me get these other indicators off here. Let's see. So, I mean, just breaking above this price. Do I have any of my other? Okay. Yeah. Oh God, there's so much stuff on this chart. This can go what in the world is going on here? So my target was up here originally for the swing on this. My target was up here at this 618 golden pocket. And we're so close to that, but we're just kind of grinding sideways right now. And we're floating around this this major level of support and resistance up here, this big red line. We had this big bear flag or bull flag, excuse me. Big bull flag broke out of this. This was a fantastic breakout, which did lead us to new highs. So I'll go ahead and delete this for now. There's so many lines in here. I'm trying to keep it organized, but I don't want to have like a messy, super messy chart for you guys. This, I mean, that's pretty much as, that's almost as accurate as you can get with this. So that I'm kind of impressed with that. I wonder if I can, let me take a screenshot of this real quick. I'm going to save that for later. Update my chart on YouTube for later for that one. Anyway. So, I get a lot of questions about this as well, is like, how am I predicting these levels? I did a whole video on this on my YouTube. If you guys want to go check that out, subscribe to the channel. Obviously, I do lots of educational videos, analysis and stuff like that. But this is basically my little secret for finding targets and stuff like that is most people end up using this this fib retracement tool, which is fine, right? I mean, you know, you just pull low to high, you get your retracement targets, right? We hit a perfect 382 here, used as support, moved higher. Okay, that's all well and good. And I used to use just this regular fib retracement tool exclusively. I think my camera is actually over this. Yeah, my camera is over this. So let me disable my camera real quick. Bink. I used to use this fib retracement tool here exclusively, because that's what I learned on, right? You know, as I was going through my trading journey, that's kind of what I learned with. And then I kind of discovered this and I was like, well, what is this for, right? So what this does is you basically take this from, you know, like a shelf or whatever, something like you have here. I like to do this on the bigger time frames as well to get overall, get the chart situated here. Let me actually just do this as an example on like a clean chart so that it's not crazy for you guys. So what you can do here, like if you want to be projecting upside for this, right? Like this is how I found my targets to the upside. Well, how do you do that? So you take this fib extension tool and you're literally going to just take it from your last swing low, which was way down here, actually, this pivot point, up to your most recent swing high, and then project it against that pivot low, right? And that's pretty much where we're at right now. So we're struggling right now to stay above this golden pocket on this on the daily time frame here. But I think that if we can use this level, let's come down to a slightly smaller time frame. Shit, my fib disappeared. I have a bad habit of making the visibility on my time frames different. I have no idea who that is. I'm not answering that. Ain't nobody got time for phone calls. Okay, so let's come back down to this 4-hour chart. So we can see here that we do actually have not only a mathematical support and resistance level here, but we also have a technical support and resistance level here, right? So we've got this zone. Some people prefer to draw lines and some people also prefer to draw zones. I'm a fan of both. Really depends. If I can't get one line to line up with all the wicks, I'll just draw a zone here. And that's, you know, that's your demand zone. This is where the demand right now is for Bitcoin. So I think that if we can hold this level up here between, I guess, what is this, 58,000 or 48,000 and about 44,000. I think we should be okay, this little $4,000 range here, and we should be good to move up higher. Now, we did just have a major exponential move here, right? On our 4-hour chart over the last month. This has been a major move over the last 3 weeks. And normally after you see something like that, well, what happens? Well, look left and it gives you clues, right? After we had this major move up after months, right? In 2020, we had this huge move. After we had this move, we leveled off for like 2 weeks, right? 3 weeks in here. And then we shot off again. We had a sharp retracement here. And then we had another move up. After that, after this main move on this larger time frame here, we had this major area of consolidation. And this was where that big triangle was. If I switch back to my other chart, this is where we had that huge triangle consolidation, right? Okay. So normally after you get a major move like that, you end up seeing some consolidation. Now, obviously the breakout of this triangle is nowhere near the size of this entire move from back in, what is that, November? So am I expecting consolidation here? Yes. This is exactly what we're getting right now up here. We're getting a really choppy top and we're in price discovery, right? We've never been this high. Okay. And we just keep blowing through previous all-time highs. We had our last one here at about 42,000, consolidated for the better part of, I guess, what is this, a month? Yeah, about almost exactly a month from basically the first week of January to the first week of this current month. And we finally broke out of this, right? We retapped our all-time high at our major resistance here, consolidated, tested support here, and then moved higher. This support held. So these are the moments here when you see something like this. These are the moments that you want to be buying dips. Everyone always constantly says, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. Okay. That's perfectly fine. And I encourage buying the dip. That's really good. And especially if you're longer term into this for any coin, that's a really, really good thing to be doing. Okay. Especially if it's something like Link that you want to hold on to for a while, right? I've been trading crypto for a very long time. I bought Link back when it was like 8 or 10 cents. And I've got a bag of like 1,000 of them sitting on a Trezor somewhere because that was a long-term investment. I don't sell it. I don't trade it. It just stays there. Okay. And for a lot of these projects, once in a while, you'll hit a good project or you'll get into a good ICO. That's a long-term hold. That will be a very, very good investment decision. Now, there's investments and then, there's trading and there's scalping and there's obviously different kinds of trading. So some people are day traders like me. I like to scalp, 5-minute chart, get in and out of positions during the day. And then I use the 1 hour chart for getting into swing positions, but I use higher time frames to judge what the overall trend is. So right now on this 4 hour chart, obviously the overall trend, I mean, what are you going to do? Say the overall trend is down? You know, obviously the overall trend is up. So if you come down to a lower time frame, well, you know, like if I wasn't in Bitcoin right now, or here's a good example. I told you guys that I just sold half of my Bitcoin that I had in my trading portfolio and went cash, right? So where would I be looking to buy back in? Well, I've already got these support and resistance levels for this whole zone up here leveled out, and they're actually all super even with each other. So buying here would be a good idea. Buying here would be a good idea. Buying here would be a good idea. And obviously you want to be dollar cost averaging whenever you do that, right? So if you're trading on spot, because, and I recommend that for newer traders, I don't recommend using leverage. If you're a newer trader, you'll blow up your portfolio guaranteed. I promise. That is a promise. You will blow it up, especially if you're over leveraging. If you're using 2x or 3x and you have solid risk management, you might be okay as a newer trader. But without a solid risk management plan, going 10x, 25x, 50x, you know, all in 100x and smashing the green and aping in, smashing the green button 100x. As a newer trader, do not do that, especially, you know, if you've got like a small account, you know, like if you've got like under $1,000 or under $2,000 or whatever in your portfolio and you're trying to 100x trades, you're going to lose that money real quick and it's going to be an expensive lesson for you. But you know, that's how you pay for your trading education, right? You have wins, you have losses. Hopefully you learn from the losses, take note of it and move on and not make the same mistake twice. That's how we grow along our trading journey. So anyway, we're using this little level right now as support on this 1 hour chart. And I kind of want to stay focused on this 1 hour for just a little bit. But we've got these very, very clear zones here, right? I mean, this couldn't be more perfect on the 1 hour chart in terms of support and resistance. I mean, look at these levels here. It's amazing, right? You might have a little zone here down at the bottom. This would kind of be like a last resort. Like if this level right here broke, you're definitely seeing a retest of, you know, those previous all-time highs at what is this, 42K down here. So on this chart, we were in this range for so long. So I drew these ranges, right? So our top range here, this is going to be massive, massive resistance. Ooh, sorry about that. That was really loud. Let me take off Outlook. Sorry about that. That was loud even for me. We've got this massive zone up here, and we've got this massive zone down here. And then we had a median line, which acted as support and resistance, right? So when you see zones like this, I didn't wait until the zone was finished to be drawing these boxes. Like, I drew these right away. Clearly down here where we had these massive wicks, you know, this is clearly a zone of very, very strong demand. If you zoom in here to this wick, you can see how quickly it got bought up. Look at these wicks down here. I'll turn candles on for you guys. I like to use the bars. I don't like to use the candles, but for all intensive purposes, I'll turn the candles on for right now. These wicks down here, incredibly strong wicks. That tells me that there are a shit ton of buyers down here. Huge wicks here, huge wicks here. This wick was, how big was this wick? 27 to 30. This was a $3,000 wick. So this candle here, this was about a $4,000 candle, and $3,000 of that price action got bought up immediately. That's huge. That tells me that this is a major, major area of demand. And sure enough, later on, as price action kept moving, did we keep moving up? Yeah, sure. But this was, for all intensive purposes, when I first drew this, this was just a level of support. Looking left further, you can see that it's a huge area of demand here. This was an accumulation zone. And then we finally broke out of it, right? We had resistance here. We broke out of it, retested it here on these candles, broke out. And then we moved higher. We retested again, moved higher. I mean, I don't have to explain it. It's right in front of you, right? So once I did that, once I labeled that, I just kind of kept dragging the box across, right? So I had this box originally was only to here. And then once we hit a top, okay, and we consolidated and price action got weaker, volume died down, we dropped, okay? We broke through support here. And sure enough, what happened? We tapped this demand box again. And again, humongous wicks, right? Look at these massive wicks to this downside. This is why candlesticks are very important. I prefer to use the bars. That's just how I am in crypto. A lot of times when you see something like this, it's like, oh yeah, you know, like look at this huge doji or this big bullish hammer, right? You get like one or two bullish candles and then it fucking tanks on you. And the reason why is because you've got 8 billion other people trading this that see the same exact shit. Okay. So, you know, when you see some massive thing to this upside, it's like, oh, sweet. You know, like let's ape into this long. Well, if you would have done that, you would have gotten wrecked here. Okay. That's the reason why I prefer not to use those. Sometimes the candlesticks can be very telling, like up here. And this is actually one of the reasons why I've been getting nervous. And I'll let you guys in on this in just a minute here. See how we had like these 3 dojis basically back to back, 2 dojis and then like a bullish hammer, a couple bullish hammers, and then it tanked. Okay, if you look at the price action now and we come up to a 12-hour time frame, we have that same pattern here. Okay, 3 dojis back to back. Okay, and we pushed higher. Now we're getting some bearish movement. This is why I went into cash. I was looking back through the price action, and every single time that we've seen candles like that at the top here, normally when you see pretty big wicks like that at the top, even if you get like a bullish hammer like this, and it's basically price action saying, oh, you know, like, please buy me, trying to get people to ape into the market and long the top. And then big market makers like yesterday, they'll go ahead and they'll be selling this. Like we saw yesterday, we had that huge rip. We had the huge rip down just yesterday. And I think I posted it in the Crypto Cousin Discord. Let me see if I can find it in here for you guys. By the way, this website, take note of this. This is scalpindex.com/app. This is free to use. And this shows you iceberg orders. An iceberg order is an order that's on the dark order books, right? So those are going to be OTC buyers that are using like millions and millions of dollars, right? So here we had a hidden buy order, $10 million. Okay. But look right here. Okay. We had this hidden sell order, massive, $22.175 million worth of a sell order. These were huge whales coming through here. Okay. 19.3 million for a buy, 22.175 million for a sell, another 10.3 million for a buy. Later on that evening, we had another $1 million sell. Later on in that evening, again, another whale, probably this first one is probably the same person, another 6 million. Okay. Another million, another $250,000. These are massive whales that are coming through with these iceberg orders. When I start seeing price action like that, it starts making me personally as a trader, it starts making me a little nervous, especially when we are at such a massive price. Trading Bitcoin for so long, I have been wanting a $50,000 Bitcoin. I've been dreaming of this for 4 years now. Okay. It's finally happening, but that doesn't mean that you should be getting euphoric and you shouldn't be getting complacent. You shouldn't be getting comfortable with, oh, well, it's only going to go up. Oh, well, 50K is programmed. When you start ignore all that bullshit noise on Twitter and from plebes and trolls and stuff, you need to focus on you and focus on your own gut feelings, because the moment that you don't, and the moment that you get comfortable in the price action, it's only going to go up next week, it'll be 60K. The moment that you start thinking that way is the moment that your portfolio will have gained so much value just from being in spot. It'll immediately turn around within a month. All that value will be gone because you keep thinking to yourself, oh, well, I'll buy the dip. Well, like I said, buying the dip is okay, but you need to be very, very cautious, and you need to be monitoring these price levels. These are very important price levels that we're at. So back to this chart here, looking at the candles, right? We've been floating around in this resistance. FTM, everyone is back. Fundamentals, great. Thanks. Chart looks great. Great. Close follower here. Just wanted to drop by and say hi. Thanks for all the work you've done for us. Appreciate it. Quick question. What do you think about rebase coins like Ample? I've actually never heard of that. I'm going to have to look into that. I really don't trade altcoins that much because I got burned so badly in 2018. I don't really mess with them. It's just as risky as messing with penny stocks. That's the reason why I don't trade penny stocks. So you need to be very, very careful with those things. The reason why I was an early investor into Link and into Augur and into the Binance, not the Binance token, the binary attention token, the BAT token, which is used by the Brave browser. The reason why I did those and the reason why I went in on those ICOs, the reason why I spent a lot of money to buy those and invest in them is because the coins have a very, very strong use case. They have a use, they have a utility. They're not just there for people to buy and sell. They have an actual reason for use. Okay. For the binary attention token, advertisers pay Brave for advertising, right? And they you can opt into those ads on the Brave browser, right? And for your attention, you get paid in BAT. You can then take that BAT and either purchase those advertisers' products, or you can tip people like me, like content creators and stuff. That's a very strong use case that could revolutionize the advertising industry on the internet as we know it. It cuts out all the middlemen from advertising. It makes advertising less expensive, and it makes advertising more useful because now you as a user of the browser, you can decide to opt in or opt out of those ads and decide for yourself what's best. That's a very strong use case. Augur, very strong use case. So Link, especially, humongous, just fantastic fundamentals on some of these. And that's normally how I go about picking stocks as well that I hold for long times. So just a little bit about fundamentals. Everybody gives me shit for talking about fundamentals, but it's playing more and more of an important role in Bitcoin because of what's happening. So very, very important stuff. Can you do Ethereum also? Yeah, actually, let's switch over to Ethereum real quick. Real quickly here on these lower timeframes, if I was looking to be buying in with part of my spot, again, not financial advice, okay? Not a financial advisor. You can see the disclaimer down in the description of my videos. Anyway, where would I be looking to buy? So retracements here. So if I'm using this trend-based fib extension tool and I'm looking for a retracement, I want to be looking in the opposite direction. That means that I have to measure to the downside first in order to be projecting more downside, right? So I'm going to take this local high, project it from our swing low, and then our retracement top up here. And we almost clipped our 618 zone, and no surprise there. The bottom of our golden pocket is also a minor level of support here on this lower time frame. So we've got, you know, these levels don't lie, guys, right? I mean, it doesn't get much more clear than this. You know, look at this 0.5. We've used it as support. 382 level, using it as support. These levels are here for a reason. And using tools like this can really, if you know how to use them and you know how to plan your entries and exits and have solid risk management, these can be this is a very good strategy for getting in and out of positions. I use this on low time frames for scalping as well, but you can use this on huge, big time frames for long positions, right? So sitting here on the hour time frame, I would love to get a test down here of this support level. I would love to be buying in here. Normally, with this trend-based fib extension tool, normally if you start seeing a close or like a massive candle through the golden pocket and it didn't hold, or vice versa in an uptrend, you just blew right through it. Normally, you can expect at least the 886 level here. So that's why I have this 886 level. That is a very technical level there. So that's why I have that labeled. Now, you know, if you start blowing through these levels, let me get my little pen tool out. I wish I had a tablet synced with my computer so I could just draw on it. Got to look into that. Let's see, where is it? Brush. I don't know why it's called a brush. This isn't Adobe Photoshop. Anyway, if you like, for instance here, like if we get some massive candle here like that, say we get a massive candle like this, it looks like a freaking cock on my screen. Really thin pencil dick, right? You get a thin pencil dick candle like this and it just blows through this golden pocket. You can really expect these levels first, okay? If you just keep blowing through that, that's when you start seeing levels down here, the 1272. And if it's a really large extension, that's when you would see 1618 levels. Now, higher time frame, this is my end game right here. We have not retested on the higher time frames here. We'll come out to a 4 hour. This is a very technical pivot that we had here. Okay, this is a very technical spot. We have not retested this. We blew right through this with 3 or 2, whatever, massive candles here, and we have not retested our previous all-time high. That's not necessarily a good thing. Like this price action right here, blowing right through that and not, you know, getting to here or something. I was expecting us, you know, to do something like this and then move higher. We didn't do that. We just pushed higher, didn't even retrace to retest this level down here and then just rocketed off. So, the price action is a little unhealthy right here. We're getting extended on some of these higher time frames. So I'm being cautious. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Am I still going to scalp this? You bet your ass I am on Monday. But for right now, you know, I'm probably going to sit in cash through the weekend. Normally weekends are a little lower volume. So they haven't been recently because we're in such a gigantic bull market right now, but normally the weekends tend to be a little lower volume. So this is something I'm going to be watching very carefully. At the end of the day, this is definitely my target retracement zone. And again, if we come out to this daily chart and we really want to get in here, I don't know why I zoomed so far out. If we really want to get in here and test this, the hell, not the magnet tool. Magnet gang. Okay. Let's say this is our top, right? This candle that we have for today is our top. Again, right here, you've got your 0.5 level now, which is this previous all-time high. And then you've got your 618 here, right in this big zone. So this is definitely a huge level that I'm going to be watching. I would really, really like to get my spot buy in to start buying back if we are going to continue this uptrend and completely ignore all the indicators. This would be my first small spot buy. if this level ended up breaking, I would foresee something down here. This is, I guess, what, 34,810 or whatever. A lot of people are saying, oh, we're never going to go below 30 ever again. That is just simply not true. We went from $20,000 in the end of 2017, early 2018, all the way down to $3,100. Okay, we chopped like 85% off of the price. So don't tell me that retesting our previous 2019 all-time high down here at 20K or wherever it was, don't tell me that that's not possible, because it most certainly is. And what makes me nervous about that, my reasoning for that statement is this. Goes back to the institutions and these big billion-dollar buyers, right? What happens when the price starts reversing and Elon Musk, that bought $1.5 billion worth, decides, hey man, fuck this. I've already lost 10% on it. I got to sell. What happens when he dumps a $1.5 billion? Just like the market went up that quickly, the market will come back down that quickly as well. If someone like him sold, or if Michael Saylor starts deciding, hey, you know what? It was a good investment. I made my investors a shit ton of money. I made my my shareholders a shit ton of money. I'm going to sell half of my Bitcoin. When you start getting people that own billions and multi-million dollars worth of Bitcoin, and they start taking profits, that's a really big deal. We used to be worried about the miners, right? The miners capitulating and the miners taking profit back, well, we still really are, but 3-4 years ago, that was a really big problem. During the halvings, miners taking profit, you'd see huge market capitulations because of that. Now, I don't give a shit what the miners do. Most of the miners are in China, and most of their mining facilities are bought and paid for. So now we have to be worried about these billion-dollar investors and these huge company owners and institutions and shit like that taking profits. That's going to be way more serious than the miners ever could stand to be. So the game, whoever said that, Bitcoin News, thanks for commenting. Yes, that is true. The Bitcoin game has changed. It's no longer about the miners capitulating. It's no longer about, Bitcoin is not a fucking meme anymore. It's not for buying drugs on the fucking internet. People are starting to wake up, and Elon Musk coming out publicly and purchasing Bitcoin after Michael Saylor and all of that stuff. That's what's putting digital currency, not just Bitcoin, fuck Bitcoin. It's not just about the price of Bitcoin. That's what's putting blockchain technology on the map. It's Internet 2.0. It's going to start revolutionizing everything. Healthcare is going to use it. Automotive is going to use it. Everything is starting to use it. So those tokens that are ICOs that are going to be developing layer 2 Bitcoin, that are going to be having really strong utility tokens for revolutionizing the way that we use a product or the way that we do something. Those are the tokens that you want to look out for. Don't just go buy ICOs just because, oh, it's an ICO. Take the time. You know what I mean? Most white papers are like 5-10 pages. Just sit down and read it. You know what I mean? If it looks like some bullshit, don't invest in it. Don't waste your money. Let's switch over to ETH here and see what we got. It looks like we're hitting my target for my wave 3. Those of you that are Elliott wave guys, this is pretty much what I have here for that. It looks like we're hitting my my target for my wave 3 up here. So that is good. Ethereum daily chart, or 4-hour chart, excuse me. Actually, let's come back up. Let's start with the daily first. I don't have my 56 level marked on here. Let's do that real quick. Change this to gray. Coordinates 56. Okay, well, that's good. We haven't stayed below. We had this one like sell-off wick or whatever. I guess we had that twice here. This is what's known as coiling. This is something that you don't see very often, but I think I posted this chart a couple places in a couple different Discords, and this is what's known as coiling. And for pattern traders, this is basically just known as a giant rising wedge. Right now, sometimes when you reach market tops and you see something like this, where you see a rising wedge like this, okay, if you really wanted to get perfect, here's the wicks, whatever, all those people that are going to get anal at me. Oh, you didn't connect the wicks. fuck your wicks. Anyway, normally when you see something like this, this is actually a reversal pattern, which is bearish, right? So a lot of people were expecting this, and I did not attempt to short this because we were getting such strong candles here. There was no wicks to the downside on these candles here at all. Plus 3 bullish candles like this. That's called 3 white knights. That is a very, very bullish chart pattern, right? When you've got almost no wicks to the downside and 3 bullish candles back to back like this right here, that's called 3 white knights. That's a very, very bullish chart pattern. So if you guys are just beginning in trading, I highly recommend studying candlestick theory. I've got another video on that, a very extensive, I think 2-part video on my YouTube about candlestick theory, everything that you guys need to know, chart patterns, support and resistance, everything that you guys could want as beginner traders is there for you. So normally, like I was saying, this is normally a bearish pattern, and normally you would see something like this. Normally you'd see something like that, and this would reverse quite hard. Nice. All night, baby. Anyway, this normally is going to reverse pretty hard from this, but again, 3 white knights here at the very top of a rising wedge, super, super bullish. And we had this chart pattern on a couple altcoins as well. So again, we're grinding higher, and now we're using this same upper trend line for this chart pattern. We're now using this as a very strong support here. So just something to keep an eye on. Okay. If this support level breaks, that would probably tell me that, okay, this wave 3 is probably over. I don't have the time, honestly, to be going through and labeling every individual wave like some chartists do. Crypto Tony is really good. Dave Crypto, the Elliott wave guy. If you guys are more interested in Elliott wave theory, I also have a link in the description below that you guys can get a free digital copy of, where's my book? If you guys want a free e-copy of this book right here, you guys can do that. This is an excellent book. This is written by these 2 guys. They basically invented Elliott wave theory, and this is literally the Elliott wave theory Bible. Normally that stays on my desk at all times, but not so much anymore because I just do not have the time to be charting Elliott wave theory anymore. It's just too much. So retracement targets, we can pretty much do this the same way, right? Here's another thing right here, right? Looking at price action. Okay. Our RSI has been pretty steady, but we can look for other clues. Okay. We've got a lower high here on our MACD. We've got a higher high in price, just something to keep note of, something to keep your eye on. I'm not saying we're going to reverse and it's the top, like I've mentioned before. Just be aware of every situation. That's how we make money trading, right? We make money by reacting to the price action in the market. That's how we make money. So that's one thing that you have to do. Anyway, if we want to try to look for retracement targets, how do we do that? So again, same thing. Chart here, projected against the top. Okay, so our first main level of support would be here in this golden pocket. So if you go ahead and I love the haters. Haters let me make more money. I couldn't hear what whoever that was. So there's a link if you go into the hashtag live stream chat. It's live on YouTube because I'm streaming for multiple, I guess, different places. Anyway, so we've got this technical level of support here. This is under $1,000 here. Okay, so we're right at about $1,000. $1,000 is a very mental number. So that would be a very, very technical and mental number pivot right here, that would probably be like worst case scenario. Like that would, if we started seeing numbers like that, that would probably be the kind of thing where it's going to be an extent that would confirm like a trend change or something like that. In the meantime, on these smaller timeframes, look at this massive clusterfuck that we have back here with all these triangles, right? This is pretty ridiculous. So anyway, in the general scheme of things, we've had this massive, let me delete these lines. We've had this massive ascending channel here. And let me get rid of these. And too many lines here. I draw lines on charts. All right, so staying in this upper range here on Ethereum, this is extremely good news. So in the short term, to be projecting upside again, we can do the same thing here, right? Boom, boom. And again, just like Bitcoin, we're kind of sitting in this golden pocket zone, okay? So we've got this massive level up here in this golden pocket that's acting as resistance right now. So I would expect any retracement target, a deep retracement target here on the 1 hour chart would probably be this 0.5 here. So this is obviously a technical pivot. This right here is another technical pivot. This line goes back as well. This has some history. Okay, you can see all these wicks, okay, lining up with these levels. Same thing if you drag this. Don't be afraid to look left on your chart, guys. You know what I mean? Like, look left. See, this is a major level of resistance before. We had a huge rejection here from this level. So this is going to be the first level that I'm interested in. This is going to be a major level of support. And we've already retested this once. So if we do continue to move higher, let's say we don't retrace here and the trend is continuing, right? How do we measure that? Same way, right? Low to high, swing low. Okay, right now, 0.5 fib is acting as our resistance. So this right now is our resistance. And then this would be a target, right? The top of our channel up here. And then if we blow through that, again, like I said, that 886 level, very important. So these would be my targets. And then once you get through with your analysis, all you got to do is, do one of those. Bam. Now you've got targets. So that's pretty much the way that I do charting and stuff. So best mic out there. Thank you for that. It's actually not the mic. It's actually it's actually all the filters and shit that I have to do to this mic because it was a cheap mic. So I made my cheap mic sound awesome. Look at FTM. FTM is not going to stop. Bitcoin news. Thanks for joining in the conversation on the YouTube, by the way. I appreciate that. FTM and also anything else that is like related to the Serum network or the FTX exchange, the FTT token, and stuff like that. Those tokens have very high utility. Think of the FTT token. Those of you that are just getting into the space now that weren't around when, Binance first released the BNB token and shit like that. The FTT token and all of the Serum tokens and all of that stuff, those are basically going to be like the next BNB. Okay. Those are going to be the next like Binance, Binance tokens and shit like that. Pay very, very close attention to those. Just because, actually, let me bring up the chart. Let me add it to my altcoin list. I haven't done analysis on that at all, I don't think. Crypto, yeah, it's listed, right? FTTUSD, sure. We'll look at that one. Okay, so this chart right here, we'll look at the daily. Okay, that's only the beginning for FTT. Okay, this is very, very early stages. I mean, looking at a weekly chart, this is all you got. I mean, this coin only goes back to August 2019, and it really wasn't in use from that. It had its first big pump when the exchange launched and all that stuff. This was ICO. ICO purchasers sold off. It slowly grinded higher. This was pretty much like the price of USD and Bitcoin dragging it up with it. This was, I think this big pop was the actual like public exchange launch or whatever. It went up. Obviously, this is just price action, people just selling. And it's been grinding up ever since then. Now, all of this huge gap up in price, okay, this is all this volume coming in. This is just straight up bull market activity. But it's also because this token has a lot of use cases, okay? I'm not going to get into and have this be a fireside fundamentals chat. That's boring. You guys want targets on coins. That's what I'm going to give you. I'm not going to sit here for hours and talk fundamentals. But if we look at BNB, compare this to the early days of BNB, right? BNB perp USD, right? So let's compare this to the early days of the Binance token. Jesus Christ. Okay. So token first came out. Investors sold off and sideways. But then what ended up happening, right? Then it started getting some real attention. This is pretty much where we're at right now. I think with the FTT token is like this area. Okay. This is probably where we're at and what we're seeing right now with the FTT token. Sure, it's going to level off at some point. I don't foresee like a capitulation event like this. I think this was when Binance got hacked or something. Everybody sold or something like that. I remember they got hacked at one point in 2020. Something happened there. But this is pretty much where we're at right now with the FTT token. I wonder if I can compare these symbols. Let's do that. Let's do new price scale. Okay. So actually kind of interesting. It almost looks like from launch. That the FTT token is actually surpassing the performance of the BNB token. So, but yeah, in the general scheme of things, in term of time, these charts here, if you look at these and compare them, this first price action that both these coins had, very similar, right? Okay, very, very similar. So, that's just one thing that you got to be looking out for with a lot of these coins. Let's go take a look at BTT, right? There's been a lot of talk about this. This was a coin that I was holding for a very long time. I think I bought it here and then I sold it break even here on this pop. It dumped and it was just going sideways for an entire year. It didn't do shit. So I was glad that I sold it. Well, now I'm kicking myself in the ass that I sold it because it just went up like 300%, right? So you win some, you lose some. You can't win all the trades. So that's just kind of how it is. I saw the rising wedge break up on so many coins. That is absolutely true. Looks like it's overextended and due for a correction. I'm not sure, Swift Ripper, if you're talking about the FTT token or not. But there's a lot of other tokens that are associated with SBF. Let's see. Is it just SRUM or SRM? That was another thing. Serum and FTT, their project was incubated by the Binance incubation thing. So when new big projects get released, they can have Binance like incubate the project for them, help them with marketing, promotion, advertising, listing, and stuff like that. So for two exchanges to be partnering for at all, first of all, as usually unheard of, especially when it's for an actual exchange token. So that was really weird. And that's probably the reason why FTT shot off like that. So let's see. Serum, BTC Tether. Let's just look at the Tether one real quick. Yeah, so this is another project that's doing absolutely fantastic right now. And Serum, for those of you that don't know, it looks like this is on the weekly chart, another massive cup and handle here. Now, there's a couple of tokens that I'm going to get into that I was saying, hey, look at this. We've got a massive cup and handle here. And, we'll probably see something like this, right? A lot of the tokens that I was drawing this on they just never made a handle. They just kept going up. So one of those, I believe, was ALGO. I posted this chart a lot of places, Twitter, the cousin crypto place. And this just fucking, it just wrecked. I mean, this was a face melter, right? Obviously, I have not been in this at all. I missed this entire thing. I don't really trade the small coins. I'm kind of pissed off that I did. But at the end of the day, again, especially for a weekly chart, this coin's only been around for a little over a year. This is the very, very early stages, right? Okay, like this is like when you take a look at the link chart. Okay, I remember the chart looking like that when I first bought Link, right? You know, like when I first bought Link, you know, whatever. And this is what exchange is this listed on? This is on Coinbase. I got it when it was on Binance. It was listed on Coinbase way later. Let's look at the Binance one. Link, not the perpetuals. I don't want the perpetuals. USD. Sure, why not? It's at $30 fucking right now. I can't even believe that. That's so crazy to me. Okay. Stupid thing. Okay. That is pretty much what ALGO is right now, right? This is what's going to happen with ALGO. Right now, ALGO is like here, right? It hasn't broken its all-time high yet. This is like where ALGO is. And, you know, like that's exactly the same thing that happened with Link. Now, Link did get a little retrace here and it tested support, obviously. We had, looks like there was a support level in here, okay? And it tested that. So ALGO has not done that. It's just kept going up. But, you know, I mean, like, look at the price of what Link was, you know, I mean, look, 18 cents, you know, like this is pretty much where I was accumulating in here back in 2019. So, you know, I mean, since then, it's just, you know, been for the most part, nothing but up. Now, granted, this is the weekly chart, extremely high time frame. Not even myself, I'm not even trading on those timeframes. Yes, it's had its ups and downs, right? It's had its retraces, but as a long-term hold and a long-term investment, that it's not something that you're trading. It's not something that the value of it affects, you know, like how much money you're trading with or something like that. I mean, super, super strong investment. ALGO is another one of those tokens that also has very good fundamentals as well. Those of you that haven't, you should definitely read, you know, the information and take a look at the team and stuff. They have a very good team of developers. What other tokens? Take a look at Sol and SXP. Those guys have been ripping as well. It's a bull market, guys, right? I mean, you know, when Bitcoin goes up, a lot of these alt pairings are paired with Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes up, it drags them up, right? So let's see here. Yeah, we'll just look at the Tether one. I like looking at the Tether pairings. Sol and somebody said something else, SXP. Let me add both of these to my list. This is the list that I've been making for all the live streams and stuff that I've been doing, just so that I have all these popular altcoins in here. Sure, why not? SXP is only $2. Oh, wow. Okay. That's a fantastic looking chart here. That looks great. Actually, fuck that line. Let's draw a range. Okay. And then looks like you've got support and resistance here, which we are rapidly approaching. And then looks like you got like, you know, another one up here or whatever. So this would probably just be like another range. So this is going to be a supply range up here, right? This range up here, this is going to be supply. Okay. This is a supply range. Stupid box doesn't let me. Okay. This is a supply range up here. And then you've got obviously your all-time high up here. Boop. Okay. And then obviously your major all-time low and support down there. Boom. Bring it up a notch. These are the major resistances. Okay. So that's pretty much what you got there. This is basically a midline, right? So if you actually were to delete this box and just draw a line through here, you could actually just make this line yellow and bam, that's your overall life history range of SXP here. So breaking above this, extremely good. If this was to reject here from this major supply zone, for instance, this is assuming that, I'm right about Bitcoin and we could be seeing extended area of retracement or something like that. All of these major zones here that a lot of these coins have been surpassing like this. These are those zones that I'm looking at. Remember, like you want to be buying those retests. So like if this was to come down here, that's something that you buy. Now, this is a daily chart, right? So obviously, there's a lot of things that you're going to see on this daily chart that you're not going to see anywhere else. Now, would I be selling this right now? No, absolutely not. You let your winners ride. And this has a very super, super strong uptrend. This has not slowed down at all. It pivoted here at the halfway mark on the RSI and it's just kept going. This hasn't even been in bearish territory down here on the MACD since December. Okay. And it's just obviously very super obvious here. Once you got a golden cross here on the MACD, it's just taken off. It doesn't show any signs of slowing down. You've got in general increasing volume here over time. But this is something to be watching out for as well as volume. Volume analysis is extremely, extremely important. Once volume starts dying off, that means that that people are exiting their positions, they're going back into Bitcoin and stuff like that. So always be careful of that. Now on these smaller time frames, let's take it down to a daily chart real quick and just kind of look for some technicals. And I encourage you guys to do this with your charts. Even if you're newer at charting, go, like I said, go check out that support and resistance video that I have. It's extremely important. If you're going to be looking at charts, you have to know how to read them. You have to know how to read and understand technical pivots. If you just ape into stuff and you're buying stuff, over time, you might get lucky. You may get some winners. Over time, you'll get destroyed. Okay, so these are all levels of support and resistance here on our smaller time frame. Okay, that's pretty much what we're at now. Obviously, you could go through this entire chart and do those. I only do the most recent ones, and then as they disappear later on, sometimes I'll leave the lines here or whatever. But so if we want to get really technical about it, okay, lower highs, higher lows, possible triangle, right? Contracting range, slowly dying off volume. Again, though, this is on the hourly chart and we're coming into the weekend, so that's probably why the volume's a little lower. There really isn't anything to be worried about here. Now, however, if this trend line from these wicks, if we end up seeing a close below this candle's low, which would probably also be out of this, below this trend line here, that would probably be, if you're not going to be selling, that would be okay. Like I want to be looking for spot buys, or buying in more, whatever you do, right? Low to high, projected from the high. Hey, look at that. The golden pocket line's right up with that level of support and resistance. And keep in mind, I'm charting this for you live. It's not like I didn't even have these coins on my watch list. Like these aren't coincidences. Okay. Same thing, 382 again. Look at this massive support on this 382 level. Resistance here at the 236 to the upside, right? So this would be a target here. Buying the bottom of a triangle is extremely risky. Considering that we do have a pattern here, you have to have confluence with your analysis, right? So yeah, sure, this is a technical pivot of support and resistance, but buying here would be very risky. Like this would be the kind of thing where you would want to be laddering a buy. So like this would be your smallest buy. And then you would probably plan on having larger buys here and here. Okay. Another major level of support and resistance. You can see if you just drag this line over, okay, support and resistance area all up in here. So always be laddering your buys. If you got $1,000 in your account, don't be like, oh, I'm going to split it between two coins and go $500 on ALGO and $500 on Link. If the price goes against you, now you have no way to dollar cost average and lower your average entry. You're basically just wasting your money. Like, you got to be smart with it. It's all about the money, So let's see. Phantom is going to 10x, CRV and AUK vet. You guys are giving me a shit ton of coins. I got to go here soon. It's 2:30. I'll do probably 2 more. So I'll do VET and what else is on here? VET. I'll do VET real quick and CRV, and then after that, I kind of gotta go. Oh, and shout out to everybody that's in the Cousin Crypto Discord for helping me mute and kick out or whatever you're doing with the people being retards and stuff in the voice chat during the live stream. I appreciate that. Thank you for the help on that, by the way. We appreciate that. I am here to try and teach you guys and give you analysis and tips and tricks and shit that I've learned over the course of 7 years. What did I say? VET, right? Let's take a look at that. We'll take a look at it again. USDT, Binance. And what did he say? CRV. Trail Bros TV. I will get to NU. I'll get to the new token if I have time. I'm just going to go over these two real quick, but by about 2:45 or so, I got to cut this off. I got to take my daughter to an appointment. So CRV, let's do that. Yeah, I got you guys. A lot of people were requesting the new token in the YouTube chat. I see you. I see you. I see you. Whoa, that's NULS. That's the wrong. I was about to chart the wrong one. NULS. Ncash. Oh my God. Bitcoin still has Ncash listed. Wow, that's very interesting. I would have thought that would have gotten delisted a very, very long time ago. So let's do, I guess, I'll do the USDT one, NULS, and okay, there we go. Whoa, holy shit. That's pumping up like crazy. Zoom out real quick, right? Always start from what I like to do. Obviously, you guys have probably noticed this from past live streams and just my analysis videos in general. I always start with a naked chart on a super high time frame, get my major levels and figure out what the main trend is, and then work my way lower. You just kind of gotta finesse it, It's like if you're trying to hit up some chick like Crypto Charles or whatever on Tinder or whatever, you're trying to get the women, you got to finesse. All right. If you want the pussy, you got to finesse. Same thing with your charts. If you want that money, you got to finesse it, right? So I don't know why I just labeled that as resistance. That's definitely support. This was also a major technical level here. Oops. Here. I really wish, and I'm going to bring this up to TradingView. I've got like an 8-button mouse that I can program macros and stuff onto because I also am a gamer. And there is nothing that I would love more than to have programmable macros for TradingView so that I can just click a button on my mouse and turn the freaking magnet tool on and off. It drives me crazy that I can't just turn it on and off with a mouse click button. It drives me nuts. So this is also support now. This is in price discovery now, guys. This is another one of those things where, you just let your winners run, right? If we wanted to overall trend this and just kind of see targets to the upside, like maybe where are we going to see resistance? Where is a pivot that could possibly happen? Wow, that was a perfect 113 here. That's a really rare move to see a resistance from. This is probably where most people missed. And then this is probably where most people ended up getting in, or they got on this retrace. It was likely here because of these wicks here. Again, you got to look for those wicks to the downside. That's where people are buying. Oh man, yeah, this is getting real. This is getting really extended on the main trend here. This would be the first level that I would be interested in. If I was holding this and I was looking to be taking profits right up here at about, I guess, 65 cents. That's probably going to be a major level of resistance here. Now, I'm saying resistance strictly because of how much volume I see here and how large these green candles are. This is one of the biggest candles almost on this entire chart. Okay. If this closes like that in the next 4 hours. So this would be my first level of interest. Now, if this blows right through there, you could potentially see maybe some consolidation here on like the lower time frames, but definitely there. Oops, I didn't mean to delete that there. And certainly this 3618 extension up here, that would be extremely extended. If it went right into that, that would be full blown parabolic, and I would be getting very nervous. I would be looking at exiting at around 70 cents there for long term and looking to be buying back during a consolidation or an accumulation phase. If we bring this down to a 1 hour and look at this here, yeah, on the smaller trend, it's also hitting that 2618. So this is basically your zone here that you have. Again, you know, you guys know I like doing my zones. So that's one zone. Man, you know, I mean, there really is no easy way to try and look for a retrace on this on these smaller time frames here until you actually have a pivot and it starts flipping over. I mean, just the volume here, I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. Like I probably wouldn't be trying to short it. That's, you know, I wouldn't be trying to short anything in this market really. So, but yeah, no, I can't really, I mean, maybe just using support and resistance, looking for targets here, you know, like this would be a small one, right? On a lower time frame. Consolidation, this would be my first area of interest. You know, anything in here, okay? In this zone here. This looks like a pretty solid accumulation area, right? Okay, so that would be a good zone. In terms of technical pivots, I would just be using anything deeper than this. This would pretty much be like a last line of support here. If that happened, then you'd be looking at much deeper targets. But this, in terms of like a longer term retrace, that this would probably be, this area of accumulation here would most likely be my first target. So let's move on to CRV real quick. Come up to a daily. Wow, yeah, this is another one that's really starting to take off. Now, a lot of these projects, guys, that have been around for, you know, a year, maybe 2 years, or whatever, that have charts that are looking like this. A lot of these coins, if they do have utility and they do have good developers and they're active on GitHub and their development team is active and stuff like that, those are the coins that, you know, you might want to think about maybe not necessarily trading them and maybe just holding them, because, you know, the good projects, they stick around. You know what I mean? It's just like the stock market. Stocks only go up and all that shit. Okay. It's the same thing with a lot of these tokens. Now, proof of work versus proof of stake and all of those things matter. The team's fundamentals matter. The developers, if they're active or not, all those things do matter. But in the long term, you know, Link, BAT, Augur, the 0x coin, you know, I mean, that the 0x protocol is fantastic. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, that's not going anywhere. They're constantly developing. Those are tokens that if you buy a bag of them, you know, when I'm saying, oh, okay, here's a retracement target, for me personally, if I was going to be buying any of these, those would be places for me to just be accumulating, not necessarily trading on leverage. You know, I would want to be looking into these projects and potentially holding them. So here is resistance. And I know Cousin Crypto and stuff, for those of you in the Discord, in one of the Discords, yeah, he's super big on buying and holding. That's how he's made a lot of his money, is buying these tokens, holding onto them, not necessarily trading, but he's not necessarily that much of a trader. He's more of like a buyer and holder. Like, he wants to own these ICOs because they're good projects. He wants to invest in these coins because they're good projects. Everybody, you know, like the whole entertainment thing with TikTok and him on Twitter and stuff, all that shit is entertainment, but that he's really bright. He's really smart. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He's thinking long term, right? Like, he wants to be able to retire off of crypto. If he keeps the same strategy that he's doing now, he will easily be able to do that and be able to retire off crypto at probably a very early age. way earlier than I'll be retiring, I'll tell you that. So this is green, this is support here. Major support here. This right here, this was a major level. Once CRV broke out from this major, I mean, you could even put it here if you really wanted to. Once it broke out from this zone, from this, what is this, 80, basically 85 cents or whatever. Once it broke out from that, or 80 cents, yeah, this thing's really taking a rip. Now, it is a little concerning that we didn't see really a large retracement here to kind of like, we kind of retested the level here. So I guess that's actually okay. We did retest that here. I take that back. This is actually looking like a very strong uptrend. And the reason why I'm saying that is because this has consistently broken levels. And it looks like we even did this here as well. Yeah, this was a solid level here. Every single level that this thing has broken, it's been retesting it successfully and bullishly. Now, this price is grinding up, and it's grinding up slowly. And the reason why it's grinding up slowly, again, always take note of this volume, right? Huge decrease in volume. Huge decrease in volume. Now, if we see some kind of like major altcoin or something, altcoin, if we see some major alt season or something like that, the volume will come right back, right? I mean, all the volume is going to come back, especially in the good projects. So for consolidation for something like this, man, I can't believe how cheap most of these coins are cheap. They're basically penny stocks. They're like $5, $10. Let's see. Smaller time frame. Obviously, you've got your major resistance here. You did get, oops, see that stupid magnet again, right? Damn magnet. I'm like an old man yelling at the sky. Nah, that's Gainsey. Okay. Very nice ascending trend line here. This would be a trend line to watch. This has been tested with two pretty serious wicks 3 different times now. I think if we put it on auto, nope. I thought maybe all 3 of those would line up perfectly, but they don't. If that did, that would be like, that's the trend line you want to buy. But yeah, in general, that actually is the trend line that you want to buy. I would be cautious on the smaller time frame. I would be cautious of this zone here. If you start seeing closes again, buying the bottoms of triangles is a very risky thing to do. You have to have very good risk management, ladder in your buys, and make sure that you have a very tight stop loss if you're trading it. If you're just laddering in and dollar cost averaging to hold long term, it doesn't really matter if it goes lower. You know, you just buy another $100 worth or whatever you're doing. So that's totally fine. So these levels, if this broke on the smaller time frame, I guess, what is this, 330? If that broke, I would be a little concerned. And then you'd be looking for levels in this area down here, right? This would be your next zone to be watching. Now let's see if these line up with anything, right? Again, golden pocket here. Buying the golden pocket is a good idea. Just again, man, kind of conflicting, right? Because you've got this trend line. Buying the trend line test is good, but again, just be cautious. Use risk management. Be smart. You know, don't go all in 100x. Whatever you guys do, be smart about it. The point is to take the money. You want to take the money from the market. You don't want to give it back, because when you lose a trade, that means that someone else is winning a trade and vice versa. So that's the whole, basic market theory. Yeah. So this level of support here, this would be a 1-to-1 retracement, right? So the length of this move, if this continued down to this green line, this level of support, that would be the same amount of retracement as this is. All right, so I promised I would do the new token, so I'm not going to answer my wife's phone call. She's going to get mad. all about you guys right now. I haven't been as active as I wanted to be on the on YouTube and doing charts this week because of everything that I got going on in my personal life. So I'm going to put my personal life on hold for today and give you guys content that you deserve. Very technical pivot here. This was tested twice. Man, that was a fantastic setup here. I might have to start trading altcoins again, man. Some of these setups are actually really, really good. I might have to start trading some of these again. This was also another fantastic pivot point here. I mean, look at that. Broke through, retested it perfectly with a bullish tweezer bottom, no less. Tweezer bottom to the downside, and it ripped. Broke right back, broke through the next resistance, retapped again, perfect test, moved higher. Are we in price discovery on this? Oh fuck! It's a fucking brand new coin. This is a token that I would have to look up. If anybody can give me a quick 1 or 2 sentence summary in the YouTube chat about the fundamentals of this and what this coin is, what it does, I would appreciate that, just so I know a little bit about it. Obviously, I'll do my own due diligence and all that crap. Alpha energy. What's alpha energy? What does that mean? Is that like clean energy? Like, what is that? Privacy to Ethereum. It's an injective protocol. That's very, if it brings more privacy to Ethereum, in terms of adoption and stuff, privacy coins are going to die. They're going to outlaw them, just like they outlawed Monero. Basically in the United States, I'd be very careful with privacy coins. But again, this is a general statement. I don't obviously know anything about the coin going off the YouTube chat, but this is something I'm going to have to look into. This is a very brand new coin. Obviously, brand new coins. They're all around good buys. I mean, to me, even a stock, anything under, $20 or $50 a share is going to be a good buy long term, as long as the value of the dollar doesn't crash, which it might. But that's a whole topic for another time. Again, targets on these coins. See, this is why, as a newer trader, when I was first getting into crypto in 2017, this is pretty much the reason why I stopped trading altcoins. Was I didn't have enough experience to know where to be buying pullbacks and areas to be looking for, and seeing this as a bullish formation instead of a bearish formation. I just didn't know these things. I can't believe how, just in 5 or 7 years of trading and stuff, how far I've come in terms of my knowledge of how markets move. It's pretty incredible. So it looks like you had a very, very minor support here. And this is a very, very minor support here. If I had to guess, this will probably get touched. All of the other levels here, every time that it's broken through, it's retouched with a wick. It looks like here it just barely missed. So this might be as low as low as it goes on this wick, but that would be worth maybe a small spot buy. I personally might take a small leveraged long right there at about 75 cents. But in terms of upside, right? What are we looking at? Let's do this on the slightly higher time frame, right? Where we come from? Jesus, where do I have to start from? This thing's pretty much just been up. Let's take our major technical pivot. Fuck it. Go down here, I guess. Okay, so this looks like it rejected the 886, and it's that's actually a tough one to call. This one, oddly enough, here on this 4-hour time frame, you can see that the 382 lines up perfectly with the top of this wick here. If this does see a major bearish engulfing 4-hour close, which it's probably going to, there's only 7 minutes left on this 4-hour candle. Closing below the 618 on the higher time frame, bearish engulfing candle, I might expect a little more downside to this. So like I said, that pivot might be a small buy. This 0.5 might be a small buy. This level might be a small, you could just ladder all the way through here. I mean, this thing is really cheap. You're talking a couple cents. It ain't nothing to, throw 50 here, 50 there, 50 there, whatever, and just ladder in 50 at a time. So you can build if you want to build like a $200 or $500 position, you could easily easily do that with this coin. And this coin is so low and it's so new that even in the midterm, and when I say midterm, I'm talking like 6 months, not like a week. Okay. A week that's for like little kids and shit. I don't care about what happens in 1 week's worth of price action. I'm concerned about what the weekly candle, is going to close as. I don't care really what happens in between if it's a long-term thing for me. But yeah, no, these buys like midterm, these would be the spots that I would be looking at. This would be kind of a risky one because it's dipped below here before, but that level does have some historical significance back here. So yeah, all these coins are looking good. It seems like most of my followers and stuff, you guys got a very solid hang on of a lot of these mid caps and a lot of these larger cap altcoins, some of the newer altcoins as well. You guys are doing really well. Man, I just can't believe BNB. This is another one that I think is really going to pop off here soon. BNB is probably going to go for another rip. This consolidating here under resistance is extremely bullish. And using this as support is just very, very good. That's actually more of a zone. It's like this. So very, very strong on BNB as well. And again, going back up to the FTT token, it's listed on Binance. What other exchange do you know that's, listing other like competitive exchanges coins, right? Like FTT and Binance, those are like the top two in terms of volume. Actually, if I go to FTX, let's go to their website real quick and look at, they have a volume monitor, and the guy that made this exchange is super, super smart. SBF is a super, super smart guy. He has a special way of collecting the data from all of these, and they verify. What's really important is they verify the volume here. FTX, the way that they analyze it, they verify the volume. So like, see how Bybit here has 3 stars down at the bottom here that says website test results vary, sometimes clean, sometimes fake. Gave an intermediate grade. So this is a really, really good way. I don't use CoinMarketCap for this because CoinMarketCap, they don't have the algorithms and stuff that that SBF created to analyze the actual volume and get the real volume without all the fake bullshit trades and the wash trades and the bots and all that bullshit. But yeah, FTX, you're talking a top 5 exchange here. So obviously Binance is number 1. It's probably always going to be number 1. BitMEX used to be number 3 or 4, and obviously fell from grace when all of that shit happened with BitMEX. So goodbye, BitMEX. Why do you chart FTX when we asked for FTM? Did I chart the wrong one? Oh, no, I'm just giving an example of the FTX website. I'm talking about the actual exchange. And looking at the coin real quick. This is the last one I'm doing, and then I got to roll. Whew, man. Yeah, everything is just super, super freaking bullish right now. This level never really got retested. So stranger danger. That's a huge pivot point right here. Okay. Major level of support. All-time low. That was previous all-time high. Okay, so those are our major levels here. Man, I really wish that I could have like mouse shortcuts for doing all of this so I could do this quickly. Let's make these thicker. All right. Now let's come down to our 1 hour. Ooh. That actually is not necessarily a bad thing right here. So we do have constricting price action, it looks like right here. Right. A lot of these altcoins, they're just forming They're forming a range right now. They're getting tighter and tighter into a range. That means normally that a move is going to come soon. That's really all that means. Not a ray, a line. Actually, wait, did I see Alt V, Alt? Okay, so it looks like for some of these there are macros already. No macro for the magnet though. That's the one I need. I can program these then, which is cool. I'll probably do that later tomorrow or during the weekend when I have some free time. Anyway, a lot of these altcoins are starting to form a range. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It gives the indicators time to cool off, right? So like your RSI, you're not making higher highs here, but the RSI is slowly grinding down. That's good. That means that this is a level of, it's going into a period of consolidation. And since it's making consistently higher lows, that tells you, or it should tell you, that it's going through in a period of accumulation, right? So when you go sideways, but you're seeing higher lows, that's accumulation. When you go sideways, but you're making lower lows, that's distribution. Okay. So obviously distribution is bearish, accumulation is bullish. That's how you distinguish the two, either higher highs or higher lows. Now, making a flat top here, and lower highs or whatever in the RSI, you've got the MACD here. It's just fucking tapering off. I mean, the MACD is just flat. Like my MACD can't even pick a direction because the lines are right on top of each other. So this is just on the lower time frame. This is a really solid area of accumulation right now. Again, be careful buying the bottoms of trend lines. I've said it like a million times during the stream. I'll say it again. Very tight stops, ladder in your buys, use proper risk management. Not financial advice. So I'm going to have to cut it off today, guys. I know Peter or whatever, you probably, hi, Peter. Hi. You probably just got in here. Sorry about that. I really got to go. Got to call my wife back. Otherwise she's going to get pissed. So I'll probably end up doing, if you guys like this, let me know down in the comments below. And check out all the links that are down there. All those links down there are there for you guys. I don't really get kickbacks from those. It helps support the channel. If you guys sign up for any services or anything like that, or use any referral links, I'll tell you right now, I literally just use that stuff to invest it in better lights, better sound equipment, monitors, stuff that I can use to improve the quality of content that I give you guys. So I never put it in my pocket. I reinvest into what I do, and what I do for you guys is free. Basically, that's all, paid for by you guys by donating, tipping, whatever, signing up for services and shit like that. So that's how I'm able to do this stuff for free. Anyway, check out all the links in the description below. Very important stuff down there. High block capital, fantastic exchange. Let's actually look at the liquidation levels real quick. On BitMEX, this is all just BTC now. On BitMEX, there's some liquidation levels above us, but in general, this is why I'm not trading this weekend. There's a lot of huge gaps here in the liquidity. So anything below the price, those are liquidations for shorts. Anything above the price, or is for longs, excuse me. And anything above the price is liquidations for shorts. I post these charts occasionally. Usually I post them in my Telegram. Link is also in the description. But very, very big gaps here in where the liquidity pools are. There's a very small one here, very small one here. And then 90% of the long liquidity is way down here, all the way down to below 40K. Very little liquidity above us. If we do see a pop over the weekend, I really don't see it going above, 48,500 because buyers are getting more thin up here, right? Like nobody wants to be buying a $50,000 Bitcoin, right? They want to buy it cheaper. And normally you need short liquidity to help propel the price upwards. When buyers step in and they want to push the price higher, you need that short liquidity there so that when they close their positions out, they're buying, and it helps propel the price upwards. You can see that happened here, right? Once we got up here, we broke our high, we started liquidating these shorts, price rocketed, okay? But here you see like how dense the liquidity was above the price action here. Yeah, here it's looking like shit. Taking a look at Binance. Let me refresh this real quick for you guys. This is a fantastic platform, by the way. I did a whole, again, another video on my YouTube, did a whole video on this platform, how to use it. the different tools they use. They've got a dashboard. You can take all their different tools and organize them on your own screen exactly the way you want. Bring up net liquidity and net longs, shorts, whatever, anything you want. It's looking like here on Binance, if we zoom in, I'll just look at this part, that is more of the same. There's a lot of gaps in our immediate direction. We've got one big short, 51 million order at 47,680, and then a long order at 47K basically. And then below that, there's a major gap down to another pool of long liquidations at 46,000. So basically a $1,000 gap here. If sellers step in, especially Asia, if they take profits during their holiday and stuff like that, and they start suppressing the price, like we saw yesterday with those major market makers, they could suppress this price low enough that we could see maybe a snag of this liquidity down here. The only thing that I would be worried about is, well, maybe not so worried. There's some pretty good gaps here. So if the price ended up getting down to here and longs weren't exiting, this right here would be a major long squeeze event. This would be a major capitulation event. You would see prices immediately go down to probably 38K. And then it would trigger retail panic selling as well. This would be really bad if price got down here and started liquidating these levels. Obviously, it's good if you go up and you liquidate the shorts. If you're a shorter, it's good if you go down and you liquidate the longs. Over here, you can see global long accounts right now are still at 73%. That is very high. That means that global, across all of the derivatives exchanges, almost 74% of accounts are in long positions. I'm just going to stay flat on this during the weekend. I want to see what develops over the weekend and then take it from there. But yeah, links for this are down in the description below. There's a whole bunch of other cool stuff in there for you guys. Like, subscribe, make sure you guys are following me and stuff so that you guys can get on all the live streams. I want to do these weekly for you guys. If this is something that you enjoy, let me know in the comments. And happy trading. I'll go and I'll see you guys on Monday. Okay. How do I end this shit? Hope you get out of stuff with a personal. Take care. Godspeed. Thank you, Jasper. I appreciate that. I hope I pronounced your name correctly, by the way. And all right, I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a good night and enjoy your weekend. Trade safe. Again, remember what I kept saying about the triangles.